Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Chandana, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about non-violence in spirituality. So a lot of times when people say they're spiritual or they're on the spiritual path, they shouldn't eat meat and they shouldn't, kill animals and all of that. So what non-violence really means, okay? So the first aspect of non-violence is, of course, not killing or harming any other being or animal, okay, for your progress. So a lot of times what happens is, even on the spiritual path, you see people using a lot of animal products or parts of animals, like a certain, like claws or eyes or feathers or all that also. So that also is a part of spirituality, which they recommend that don't harm another being to progress. If you're going to take something from another animal or from somebody else for your own selfish purpose, then are you truly spiritual in the real sense of it? Okay, this is a lot more deeper than just giving up non-veg or not eating non-veg. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because truly being spiritual means that you are trying to raise your vibration. Okay, so when you raise your vibration, you are free of a lot of negative thinking and thoughts and feelings. So actually non-violence is a very good vibe check. If you want to understand if you are vibrating on a higher frequency, then you will never ever think of harming somebody or having some kind of vengeance. All these kind of thoughts don't come. So that is actually the first sign of understanding that you are at a much higher frequency, or that your higher self is also evolving. All right, the other aspect about which is very commonly known to people, that you shouldn't eat non-veg because the when the animal is being killed, it gives out, it has a kind of a spasm attack and it has a lot of anxiety, and and then we consume that animal. So whatever emotions that the animal is going through are now transferred into our body. Yes, that is also correct, but that is only one aspect. The other very common aspect that you must have heard of is that when we are trying to raise our vibration, we are trying to move into the sattva guna. So you have three gunas ideally: rajas, tamas and sattva. Okay, so tamas comes first, okay, because it is inertia. Rajas is action and sattva is absolute purity. Okay, but in spirituality, when you use these terms, they can be very relative, but in a more mundane sense, and in a more in at the beginner's level, why they say it's better to get rid of the tamas and not eat meat and not cause any harm to any other being, is because you are, as it is, covered in so much of your own muck. Okay, there is so much of your own mental thoughts, your traumas, your fears, your emotions, your karmas, your so much is there that you have to get rid of. And if you keep doing this, in a way it's like you're cleaning your house, but then there's also trash. So that is the reason why they say don't try not to cause harm to any animal. The other thing I want to focus upon in this video is that it is good if you can, if the giving up comes naturally. Like a lot of us, we are already forcing our feelings, forcing our expressions, forcing what we say the whole day, and we live in behind our masks, really, because for whatever reason you don't want to say something to somebody, or you don't want to make a big deal out of something or whatever. Because in all honesty, a lot of people are, everybody keeps telling you don't tell lies, don't tell lies. But if everybody starts speaking the truth, imagine the kind of havoc it is going to wreak. Okay, so I'm not saying that you should be deceptive or something, but yes, you can be diplomatic and intelligent and know when to say something or not say anything at all. Okay, now I've deviated a little bit, but bringing me back to not forcing yourself, because see, when you force yourself into giving up non-veg, or you feel like you feel a lot of rage or frustration or anger towards someone or something, and you keep bottling it up, what is going to happen is it's going to have a rubber band effect. Okay, and I personally don't recommend this. I feel that it is better to feel your feelings. Okay, it is better that whatever you're feeling is validated, because it is your perspective, it is from your learning, it is from your conditioning, your upbringing, your belief system. So in a way, everybody is entitled to feel how they feel. All right, but how you express that is something that can be controlled. Like if you feel like you want to go bash up someone, then I would recommend taking kickboxing classes twice or thrice a week, so you can all your pent up anger can be taken out there, or you work out or whatever, however you feel. If you want to go to what they call it nowadays, some thrash room or something, where you're allowed into this room with all this old computers or TV or crockery, and you can go and break all that. So I think it's a nice way to vent. It's a much better way to channelize those emotions. But if you force yourself to give up a certain kind of food altogether, or suddenly you say no, I'm not angry, I'm not going to be angry, it's not going to happen, because we are human, and we are yet to evolve. Evolving is a process, it's a journey, it's not something that will happen instantly. Of course, if your willpower is really strong, you may be able to sustain it for a very long time. Like for example, you may be very good at bottling up your feelings or your anger. You may be very good at giving up non-veg for 5 or 10 years, but then after that, what's going to happen? You're going to fall back into those very desires or emotions, and then coming out of it is going to be very difficult. Okay, so even when it comes to non-violence, when you genuinely start feeling that you're less angry, or you're not so vengeful, or you're not so jealous or envious or somebody, that's when you realize that your frequency has actually changed. You are vibrating on a much higher plane now. But if you force it and tell yourself no, I'm all zen and this and that, then you're only fooling yourself, nobody else. Okay, so allow it to be a gradual procedure, and this is actually what non-violence and spirituality means. It is your very thought and your emotions, and you don't force yourself to feel so zen all the time, and it's completely okay. I mean, I'm also where I am after 10-15 years of continuous working on myself. It is not that I wasn't short tempered or I wasn't impatient, and we all have these qualities, and we have to rise above these qualities. So non-violence is not just leaving non-veg, or not beating somebody up, not hurting someone. Non-violence is a frequency that you need to be at. Okay, it is in sattva guna, if I have to say. So you have to keep working on it and allow it to happen gradually. Otherwise it's going to collapse at some point, and then coming out of it is going to be very, very difficult. Okay, so a quick recap would be, just giving up non-veg is not enough. Okay, not holding grudges against someone is not enough, and hurting other animals also. So for whatever, for their skin, for their bones, for their claws, for their teeth, for their feathers, all that is also, again, you are somewhere taking part in violence, right? And that also for your selfish needs. So when you see, especially in a lot of tantric practices, a lot of animal parts are used for certain kinds of kriyas. Now I won't go into depth in that because it will become a very long video, But yes, they do use, like, say for example, even if you, like, people keep a lot of peacock feathers also. From, did you find it, was the peacock injured? Now you're going to say that, okay, it gives you this benefit and that benefit and xyz, but if it was taken from that peacock, when it was alive, or without its willingness or permission, then obviously all of that does have repercussions, and it is very subtle. But you need to understand that on the spiritual path, everything is subtle, and you also need to be subtle to be able to sense those energies, because tomorrow if you say, oh, so what, but we're doing this and we're doing that and we're eating chicken, or we used a peacock feather as a bookmark or whatever, and it's not going to have repercussions, then if that is how one chooses to move ahead, then you move ahead until you get a gradual and a deeper understanding of how these things are impacting your life. All right, so it's not necessary all the time how certain things were sourced or not. And people, like, for example, like, again, peacock feathers, you see people selling it on the footpath and at signals and all of that, and you don't really know. And if you bought it and you don't know how it was taken from the bird, then you can just offer a simple prayer that if any harm was caused to you in this, then I offer my prayers to you, and I pray that you may be in peace, and apologize. And you have to converse with nature also, for nature to forgive you and for nature to facilitate you on the spiritual path or in your tantric practices also. How would you like if something was taken out of force from you, or if you were forced into doing something, or if somebody took your life just because they could live for an extra 500 years? Would you like it? No, right? I mean, your soul is also hovering somewhere and is in constant resentment, so obviously then it is going to create more problem for you instead of facilitating you on your path. So this is the real meaning of non-violence. Non-violence ultimately is a frequency, is a state of mind and emotion on the spiritual path. And don't force yourself into it, because what is forced is fake. Okay, it is not real. You can keep bottling up, you can keep pretending, but it's not going to happen. So when you reach a state where you just generally feel that nothing is making you angry anymore, you don't feel like taking vengeance anymore, you don't feel like, you get a natural urge to just not want to eat non-veg or not want to use animal products that are extracted by harming the animal or something, then you need to understand that yes, something on a soul level is changing for you. So I hope this video was informative and you've learned a couple of new things about non-violence and spirituality. Until next time, take care. Namaste.